Products with Ehizode is back, and this is season 2. If you listen to season 1, you know it's about to be a bomb. We are sharing tips for product management. We're bringing in the top rated product management individuals, and they're going to be speaking to us, sharing their journey with us, and it's about to be a bombshell. So today we have an amazing guest. I read an article she wrote, and this is why we have her here today. She wrote an article on product led growth, and when I read the article, I was like, okay, we need to have this person on the show because you're spitting facts, man. So it was really, really amazing. She talked about product led growth, and then she used Duolingo as a case study. It was such an impactful article. And in all my classes that I have taught, I keep referencing that for product led growth. And I even have practiced some of the tips shared there, and I have results from them. It was amazing. So I want you guys to listen to her, pay attention to everything that Oyinkansola Ami has to say today, because I know she's going to be dropping deep facts that are going to help you in your product management journey, help you scale, help you get better, and she'll be sharing her own journey with you, which I think you can pick one or two things that would help your own journey as well. So we have Oyinkansola Me. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege to be here.
Yeah, it's
Thank
so
you
great
so
to
much.
have you. I've been like, okay, this scholarly. Even there was one time you shared something on Enova Lab, right? Recently.
Yeah.
That was
About
when they
threads.
launched Twitter. Yeah, threads. And
Yeah.
then I saw a comment that you made about threads maybe being fading out within some time
Yeah.
because of the fact that the same people who are on Instagram are the same people going to threads.
Yeah.
And you dropped some like keynotes there, and I'm like, this babe knows her onions. You definitely know your
Well,
onions.
we try. We try.
So
We
it's so
try.
great to have you.
It's great to be here too. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. So let me just read you her bio, man. You need to see who we are bringing here.
It's a simple bio.
So
Thank you.
yeah. So Oyinkansola Me sits in the intersection between product management and growth with a deep passion for building products that work and users love. Oyinko is improving lives one product at a time. So first
Thank
of
you.
all, why product, Seth? Why? Why exactly?
Well, when I started my journey, I didn't, unlike most people who go into tech with an idea of which should I go into, how do I get into this particular program or this particular field, I sort of stumbled into product management. I, like we were discussing earlier, I have a background in content marketing. So I started with content writing, wrote a bit. Then I was working with a marketing agency. And so I think that was where I stepped building interest in creating stuff that works. So even though I started with content writing and content marketing, it became more because whenever we got a brief, we had to dissect the problem. We had to dissect because if you're a content writer and a copywriter, you have to understand what that product or that service is giving to users, how it will improve their lives, their pain points, basic things that they teach us in product management now. But as a copywriter, you have to understand all of that so that when you write copy, it relates to the needs of the users. So that was where I built interest in. So sometimes you get briefs and I'm like, this person's service offering is probably not strong enough. How can we coin it to be more um, welcoming, to be more sellable?
Mm-hmm.
And so after a few years in content marketing, content writing, I decided, okay, I think I want something different. I want to explore other fields. And I'm like, okay, should I go into tech? Because everybody was going into tech.
So it was never about the money. Are you
No,
sure?
no, it was not. Nah, my career isn't driven by money. I feel like if you're really good at what you do, you make money either way. So,
True.
but I tried. Everybody said, go into software engineering. I don't like computers that much. I don't like tech that much. I tried. I didn't have an interest in that. I decided I considered going to product marketing because I already have a field in marketing. But I felt like since I already had a field, I already had experience in that. I would like to, pivot into something else, just somewhere I can utilize my experience as a marketer to build products, like to create useful experiences. So I'm like, okay, let's try product management. And I took a couple of courses, some trainings. I'm like, okay, I think this is where I would like to be. But even beyond that, I do not like to see myself as just a product manager. Like I said in my bio, I think I sit somewhere between growth and product management. Just the goal is to build products that work, to build things that people love, people want, to build marketable stuff. I mean, there's no fun building things that people don't use.
Exactly.
What's the point?
Yeah. So which leads us to what we I intended for us to talk about, the
Yeah.
growth led PM,
Yeah.
right? There's this thing coming up where companies do no longer need product managers, just product managers. Sometimes they you find them talk about specifically about growth product managers
Yeah.
or growth led product managers, or you'd find them bring up product management roles. So they call it product manager. But if you read it, you find out they're talking about growth marketers, right?
Yeah.
So there's a need for growth led PMs in the industry. Product managers who are not just about building, who are not just about Jira boards, tickets,
Yeah.
and all of that, but who are focused on driving business revenue,
Yeah.
driving business growth, and all of that, right? So I want us to relate this to the product manager in their role as a product manager,
Yeah.
and then as themselves, right?
Yeah.
Growing themselves as well. So you're driving growth in not just the business, but you're also driving growth for your career. So
Mhm.
you're being growth led as
Yeah.
yourself, right? So I want us to start with how you foster growth in your career as a PM. You started out as a content marketer, you became a product manager. How has it been for you, right, in your role as a product manager? What has been your growth path? How have you grown, and how have you also reflected that growth into your career as well?
Okay. So when I took the training, product management training, there was a lot of documentation, to learn. I'm like, I did not sign up for this.
Funny enough, you don't even get to use half of those documentations in
Do
real
you
life.
get?
You just like
Do you get?
PPRV document, the spec, feature requirement document. There's a lot of documents. Nobody gets to read
And
it.
I feel like most trainings do not cater to the day-to-day activities. They teach you also how to write a lot of documentation, how
Theories.
to do theory. So
Exactly.
some 5 6 months into my training, I'm very honest with myself. I'm very particular about my growth. I do not like to lie to myself. If you're listening to this and you've seen any of my videos or whatever, I always say don't lie to yourself. So 5 months in, I said, I'm learning a lot of documentation, but I need to see this in practice. I need to be able to put this to use. And so I started applying for internships, as you should if you're, going into a
Yeah.
new field, internship, intern roles, associate roles. And I got this gig, which is the company I'm still at the moment.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Girl. When
And
you're good, you're good.
and I had a conversation. And so I think what really helped was that I had a seasoned product manager that I could learn under, that I
Mm,
could work under. And so
mm,
even though he taught me a lot about documentation part, he taught me the practical aspect of it too. So I saw that even though the documentation was important, there are more important things in product management. So many product managers that I've seen actually that I've interacted with tend to focus on just delivering a technically functional product. And I think that ties to us seeing our customers as users.
mm.
There's a way when you see somebody as a user and not a person or not a wholesome person, there's a way you can create products to just solve a particular technical need. But when you see your users as actual people, you're able to factor that into the whole product management process, yeah, into the
Mm-hmm.
whole product development,
Yeah. So it's
stage.
a story you're telling.
Yes, yes, you need to see them as people. So when you're, for example, let's see a random product. What's a random product? What's a
Mm.
random
I
product?
don't want to call any product
Okay,
here
so let's say your earrings,
Okay.
for example. If you're creating a product that is an earring, and you say, okay, you just want a functional product that someone can wear and it will be beautiful, you can just create, a stud, or you can create something square that doesn't really have art
Arts.
or
Mm-hmm.
character to it.
Yeah.
And when you deliver that as a finished product, it is a finished product. It is functional. People will use it. But what if in the initial stages of your product discovery, your product planning, whatever, you think of, okay, these earrings you want to create, who is likely to use it? What do they like? So you chose this earring for a purpose. You probably like a little bit of, Greek things, or you
Yeah.
like, art, abstract art and stuff. So the person that probably designed it for somebody like that. That's not exactly my interest. So I probably wouldn't have picked this, but they look lovely on you because it's something that you like. There's a way you rock them that is different, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
makes the difference between this and a basic block. earring.
Earring.
So when you're creating products, even though the basic block earring will have served the purpose in that it is an earring, a pair of earrings, and you can wear it. It's easy to clip on. The functional things, can they clip
Yeah.
it on? Hope it won't fall down when she's walking, when you're running, when you're swimming, all of that. But when you see your users, when you see the people you're creating for, as people, you factor in every other aspect of their life. What are they likely to like? How would this make their life easier? How can we make each process seamlessly fit into their
Yeah.
already existing
Yeah. So
plan?
how do they serve this particular
Yes, how do they serve?
user?
And it is in that you can create products that people truly love and tell people about. And that's what product led growth, whatever is.
Exactly.
You want at the core of product led, all the English we
People
speak.
need, they use
Yeah,
and love your product.
and love your product, because when people love your product, they will tell others. They will tell others, they will share your product, they will use your product to the point that you'll be like, when I was creating this, I didn't think you were going to love it. And that's where every product manager wants to be. Yeah. So I think helping or relating that to my career journey, at the back of my mind, I just don't want to create redundant stuff. I feel like it's wasted effort. I don't want to create things that people don't like. I don't want to create things that take a lot of energy. And as a product manager, that creating stuff takes a
A
lot
lot.
of a,
Energy, time, manpower. A
God.
lot.
And I think that's one of the things I learned being a product manager, to getting to see the behind the scenes of the products that you use, the everyday product. It takes a lot of work. It takes something as simple as a dashboard that you can use every time. Actually takes a
Yeah.
lot of work. So if you're going to go through that work, you might as well do
Make sure you do
something
it
that people will
worthwhile.
use, make it worthwhile.
Exactly.
So in my career, I'm like, okay, whatever it is, because like I said, I didn't know I was going to go into product management. I wanted to create things that people will love. I'm like, okay, what are the things I need to learn to help me deliver on products and services that people will love? And then I pick up on that. What are the things that will help me deliver on these products? And I pick on that. And I also believe that career is a journey. So even though right now I sit at growth product management, I can in the next 5-10 years decide, okay, maybe I want to explore something else, but to be something that can build upon my already existing
Yeah.
skills as a product manager, or as a growth marketer, or a growth manager. Yeah.
So from what I hear, I see that it is a mindset for you. Like
Yes,
the
it is.
idea of growth
Yes.
outside PLG
Yes, yes,
is a mindset.
yes,
Right. So for you to be a growth led PM, you have to have the mindset of growth even for
yes,
yourself.
yes,
So that, and that reflects on your product.
yes,
So you not wanting to build a redundant product, you wanting to build a product that people will love. It
yes.
made you to work on yourself,
Yeah,
to make you to leave the aspect of theory into doing something more practical, to
yeah,
make sure that that also reflects in the product itself. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing that. So when you start working as a product manager, you get into a company, you get busy with a lot of activities. There's people for you to manage. There's day-to-day activities, maybe creating tickets and all of that. Especially if you work in a startup, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of activities for you to do day to day. So how do you do all of these things as with the normal, the regular product management, and still make sure that you're focused on growth and that every day your activity leads towards the growth of the product, right? Remember that we are talking about building products that are not just redundant,
Yeah.
not just functional, right? Not
Yeah.
just being good products, right?
Yeah.
But products that people actually need. They use it,
Use.
and to the extent where they love it, right?
Yeah.
So it means that every day you have to get more. You have to understand your users, right? You have to make sure that you're actually building what they would love, right? So
Mhm.
it means that every day you're focused on them, right?
Yeah.
So, but when you begin to be you do like real product activities every day, you might be busy. There's a lot of attention everywhere. You have to be cross functional. They
Whew,
use that word a
that
lot.
word. That word is just a
Cross-functional.
synonym for shege. Because
So how do you really balance being cross-functional, right?
yeah.
And at the same time focus on growth, making sure that you're not distracted, your mind is on the growth goal, and everything that you are doing, all of the activities, even tickets, Jira, and all of those things, everything points drives you towards the goal. How do you keep up with that and balance it all?
Okay. I think it still goes back to the mindset thing.
Hmm.
It really goes back to the mindset. We are taught that there are three pillars of growth. There's products, there's marketing, and then there's operations.
Yeah.
Now, operations is very important, and I think it's one of those things we need to also work on as product managers. First, and I remember we were having a conversation this morning. We were talking about that. You have to be able to design your operations in a way that doesn't suck out unnecessary time. If there are things that can be said over email, you don't have to have a 10 minutes
Mm.
meeting about that. If there are things that will be more effectively communicated over a 2 minute call, you don't have to do the back and forth of text messages.
Mm.
There's just a way you have to, because you're thinking of yourself, you're thinking I don't have much time, so you don't want to waste it on mundane stuff. If so for example, when I want to, if you want to give your team requirements, maybe you're working with quite recently I worked with the content manager on our team, and I had to give a brief for a particular product that we're working on. And when I wrote that brief, I was thinking of every
That they could
possible
like
question that
ask.
she could have. Because when you think of giving something incomplete, and you think of the time and energy that comes with her sending another email saying, "Oh, I'm not really clear about this. What do you need by this?" And then you reply, and then she sends, it's
Time.
stressful. It takes a lot of time, yeah.
Yeah.
So while creating your processes, while I was creating the brief, I listed out everything I felt she might need, all the resources that I think she could, make use of, just put everything at once. It would probably have taken me maybe 20 minutes extra than just giving a rough brief. And then when people have that, they have a full
But how did that
understanding
go?
of what
How did that
it
go?
went, it went
You
excellent.
sure she didn't ask any question after that?
Oh, when she delivered, I'm like, wow,
Okay.
wow. Sometimes people just need to be clear. You need to be clear on what you
True,
want.
true,
Be
true,
very
true.
specific. Don't say, oh, she should know this or he should know that, or I don't need to, put the tiny details. Put the tiny details. At least that's one
Mm,
thing I learned from my boss. Put everything.
mm.
So when you do that, you sort of reduce the time spent, and so you just find a way to make your operations easier, to make it faster for everybody, to make everybody effective, such that we can do our work without disturbing every other person. That's one. Then two, whenever I'm working on a particular product, I sort of put it at the front of my mind, and whatever interactions I'm having with people on social media, I'm subconsciously thinking of how I can make that particular product better or easier to use. So currently at the company I work with, where we have a product, it's going to be a social product, for people. It's called My Hangout, actually. We're working on that. And it's going to be a product that helps you find really cool places to hang out, just foster social
Mm-hmm.
bonds with people. And whenever I'm on Twitter, I'm on the lookout for different use cases, different ways people can use it. So when someone comes to tweet and the person says something like, uh, I'm, I'm, I'm planning a date with my friend and we're trying to look for a restaurant, or we're trying to, how can we schedule, or we are the best restaurant, all of those things.
It's you being proactive for me, actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even my product. It's not my, but because we're in the same company, different people work on different products.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things you pick up on. So I don't just use social media for fun. I use it for fun, but I'm also looking at, because when you use social media, you can have an insight into people's real problems. You
Mm.
just have to listen. You have to be sensitive to what this problem is. So somebody is coming to say, I want to set up a meeting with a friend and I want to see if we can book a reservation or something. It just seems like a regular thing. But then as a PM, you're thinking, how can I make this so easy for the person such that both they and their partner can decide on this together within the shortest period possible, and how they can have reminders or suggestions, all of those kind of things. So whenever I'm working on a product, and that's just one product, so the products at the fore of my mind are always there whenever I'm interacting with people, or when I'm just I ask you a question. Oh, so what's it like doing this? What's it like doing that? So that way I can do my operational
Mm-hmm.
requirements, and in the every other interaction I have outside of core work, I can still kind of get some work done while having fun. So I'm focused on that growth. So when we have a meeting, maybe the next sprint, whatever, and I say, oh, I think we should incorporate this, or I think we should consider this. It's not an on the spot thing. It's something that had ruminated in my mind
Yeah.
over a while. So you just have to be able to
Be curious.
be curious, yeah, and look out, be on the lookout for these opportunities. Be very sensitive. Some people just make casual, statements that other people should. You're just complaining, but as a PM, you're thinking, how do I solve this
There's a problem
problem?
here,
Yeah,
man.
there's a
We need to
problem.
find a
How do I
solution.
how do I solve this problem? And there are always problems. There will always be problems. Always. And I think that's what makes the PM role a really good one, because there will always be problems that need products to solve
Yeah.
them. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I.
So from what I heard, right, the thing is first things first, operations, processes.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we have like senior product managers. How you move from being a regular PM to a
Yeah.
much more senior role is how much you're able to make the processes work, like
Mm-hmm.
make sure that the operations are are better, right?
Mhm.
So that you can have more efficient team, a
Yeah.
more effective team. You begin to
Yeah.
cut down the processes, you refine it over and over
Yeah.
again to make sure that you are delivering efficiently.
Mhm.
And then curiosity, what you mentioned. It's something that my boss mentions every time, every time.
Yeah.
Goodness, you need to be curious. You need to be
But there's
curious.
so much work to be
Yes,
done.
yeah. So it's not you're living your random life, you're living your everyday life, but you're seeing problems and solutions in everything, right? You're not just working, right? You're not just living every day. There's something to get. There's
Yeah.
something to perceive. There's an insight to get. There's a user research to be done
Yes.
for
Yes.
every
And I feel
day
like we shouldn't always limit user research
to
to a particular
questioning
time or just questioning and asking
just
questions. Because when I come to meet you, so what's your
every
problem?
day.
Because when you ask people questions like that, which we should do, but sometimes when you ask people questions, they sort of um
They've pre-programmed their
exactly, they
mind
feel like, what does
for
this
the
person want
answers.
to hear? And they
Exactly.
can give you those answers.
Yeah.
But in addition to those face-to-face user interactions, you can also just
Watch people
watch,
in their
just
natural
watch.
environment.
You know, sometimes just, and it's a weird, I think I picked this from when I was younger. I wanted to be a novelist. I wanted to be a storyteller.
You've
So
had one. You've wanted to be a lot of things.
that's it. That's a career, as a journey. I just do whatever interests me at that point. So I then whenever I need to write a particular scene, I picture what exactly I want. And this might sound weird, but then I go to that setting and I just sit down and I watch. And I watch. I just watch how I don't talk to anybody. Maybe I want to write a scene on a restaurant or a cafeteria. Even though I've been there a couple of times and I know what it looks like, there are some things you might miss that you can only get when you watch to see. So I go there
Mhm.
and I sit and I just watch from how people come in, why do they come in, how do they walk, why they come in. And when I have this conversation with some of my guys, they're like, your own self is too much. It's just one of those things you have to pick. So why is this person coming in at this time? Why are they choosing this particular time to come in? You know, because that ties into the entire story of why the person is coming to the cafeteria to start with, or why are they picking this particular food? Or you look at how the foods are presented. So why are they picking this food instead of this other food? Why are they, why? And so that
Mhm.
helps in my writing then when I used to write. So as a PM too, I think that's one thing that I do. You shouldn't have to wait till you have, face to face questions or whatever. Just go to that setting. You want to solve problem of these people, go and see how they do it. Because
Hmm.
sometimes you create solutions that people don't need. I mean, it's a
True.
viable solution. It
True.
is a good,
but
it is
but they don't actually need
but they
it. Did
don't
I
want,
ask you?
they don't, exactly. Did I ask you? And you're thinking, this makes sense. This is, and it's
Very
not,
true.
they really don't
Very
care.
true.
I read an article recently on how a particular company increased um milkshake. They sell milkshakes, and how they were able to increase um sales of milkshakes. And this person did something similar, and we're like, why do people want milkshakes? So they had different ad copies, because I've worked as a copywriter, so I'll always have a heart for that. And they've worked on several copy. They had talked on, the best milkshake. They interviewed, yeah, now this is it. They interviewed everybody that came to that milkshake shop and asked, what kind of milkshake do you like? What would a perfect milkshake look like for you? And those people gave ideas. They say he has to have this, he has to have this. So they worked together and they developed, I think, two perfect milkshakes. But guess what? People weren't buying. And you're thinking, why are people not buying milkshakes? So they stay advertising, we have the perfect milkshake. Whatever your perfect milkshake is, we have it here. We interviewed, blah, 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 blah. And so this guy said he went to the milkshake shop and just watched. And then one thing he noticed was that everybody that came to buy a milkshake was, one, driving, two, driving alone, three, driving to a faraway place. They were going to their workplace, but it was
Mm.
a significant distance. So after asking a bit more question and watching, he realized that people bought the milkshakes because it gave them something busy to do while on the ride, a
Companionship.
companionship. And when
That's
you
odd. Milkshake.
get when you think of a milkshake, the first thing that comes to your mind is not
Food.
companionship.
Like food.
You get just as food. It's not companionship. But when he hacked that, and like, so people buy milkshake not because it's the best milkshake, but just because it gives them something to do on the ride. And so they crafted their copy, something like your best friend on a long journey, something like that, or and sales increased. So the solution they created the first time was perfect milkshake, but that's not what nobody really cares because
Yeah.
probably by evening they've forgotten what the milkshake tastes like. But when you tell them, okay, this is a perfect companion, you can, as a growth person, marketing person, you can even twist that into be like a different companion each day, different milkshake
Yeah.
flavors and all of those things. So we really need
Look
to
at
watch.
you developing copies here.
But yeah, we really need to just watch instead of limiting it to, okay, it's just this 10 weeks we're going to use for, product research, or these 2 weeks for user
Yeah.
research. Just be on the lookout, watch what's happening, and be perceptive. Ask the real questions.
Yeah, that leads us to user segmentation, right?
Yeah,
So because of those kind of people, the kind of people who were drinking the milkshake, were drivers and all of those things, we
yeah,
are able to craft messages
yeah,
specifically to those kind of
yeah.
people, right? User segmentation is very, very important. Understand who your users are, what messages will suit them
Their
perfectly.
emotional needs, really.
Exactly, exactly. Exactly. So I want to go to this your article that you wrote, that like, okay girl, you're spitting facts. So tell me about PLG and product led, using product led growth for PLG, and then the Duolingo example that you mentioned the other time. Can you like maybe just go over that again, and how people, like how product managers can incorporate that into their own products, like to drive growth?
Okay. Like I said in the article, which was one of my favorite articles to date,
It was
because
fun, actually.
I when I was going to write the article, I had been using Duolingo for a while, and I was really impressed because I really use products for that long, especially if it's not a product that is making me money. Which
You
Duolingo
like
is.
to be moody?
No,
Hello?
I'm not moody. The thing is, I'm somewhat a boring person. I don't even play games like that. If
Well,
I need something to relax, I'll probably watch maybe videos on YouTube, a documentary or something, just
must
something
be a
interesting.
nerd. Did you
I,
used to wear glass when you were in secondary school?
I actually wear
Oh, you
glasses right now,
see?
but I'm not a nerd. Not in that sense anyway. So I was really impressed with the product, and I woke up one morning. I said I'm going to write about this product, and the things I've picked. So the first thing I wrote in that article, if you remember, is having a great product to start with. It's at the core of everything. It is when you
Mm.
have a great product that you can use it as a marketing tool.
By great product, what do you mean?
By great product, what do I mean? I mean a product that is designed for the user.
Okay.
That is, yeah, that's just it. That is designed for that particular user, in terms of technical functionalities and in terms of user experience. You want a product that is for that user. And so when you have that, a product that works, number one, we have to. It shouldn't have weird bugs. It shouldn't lag. It shouldn't, just having a very good functional product for that user. That's when you can use it as a marketing tool. That's when you can use it for customer service. That's when you can use it for sales. That's when you can use it for customer acquisition, retention, growth, all of that. So the first thing that Duolingo hacks with that is that they have a very good product. And in the product design, you'll see that they considered their users, and they considered what they want the products to feel like. And I read through, I knew that you have experience in user
Yes. I
UX
started with
design.
UX design.
So I'm sure you really understand what I'm saying. It's really
Yes.
important to you,
Yes.
because the way a product is designed can affect the tone of how a person uses it.
Yeah. Color psychology,
Color,
all of that.
exactly. A lot goes into that. If someone comes into a product and your product is just gray and black, it gives them
Moody.
moody,
Duolingo really
serious.
jumps at you. Like,
Duolingo, it's the
it
color,
jumps at
yeah,
you
the
when
colors
you
are
just
very
get in.
vibrant,
Yeah.
and beyond being vibrant, the colors are also they are very interactive. The elements that are used are very interactive. They are playful. There are motion graphics there. Those type of things that makes you feel like, okay, I'm in a playground. I can have fun. It's okay for me to have fun without feeling guilty. So that starts with it. So while you're designing, and which is one of the things I'm always talking about with
Yeah.
my designers,
Designers.
I want something that when the user sees it, they feel like this is for me. It's not every time that we want something colorful. Sometimes your users are no nonsense. Well, within the context of
Depends
that
on
period.
their user
Yes. So
segment,
if
their
you're
demography,
exactly, so if your user is trying to be focused, serious, get work done, maybe transfer money and all of those things, they don't want to come on your app and
to
see
play.
bouncing castles. They are was what in fact it affects the trust and all of that. So first build a product that design a product that is for the user. Then when you design that, at least you already have one step. You've caught your user's attention, you've caught their trust, you've made them feel like, okay, we have what you're looking for. Then after that, you can now integrate different features in your product that can drive growth. Basically, the essence of product led growth is being able to use your product to drive growth. And what is growth? Increased customer acquisition, retention, and
Revenue.
revenue expansion, all of those things. So you need first to create a product that is for the user. And then when you create a product that is for the user can use, you can now integrate different features that can address the different elements of growth that you're trying to reach. For example, you're trying to get people to come back on the app. Like I mentioned, Duolingo uses that streak thing. And I didn't even think I was one to get stuck by by streaks, because every night I have to do my Duolingo now.
Yeah.
But if your users do not like your product to start with, you're not going to want to come back because of streaks. Do you get?
Yeah.
So you have to create something first that is a good product, that you know that okay, these people like it. When they come here, they want to come back, and then that's when you can now integrate streaks, and you can integrate marketing material. You can do your content marketing on the platform. But whatever it is, you just have to create
A great
first and
product.
foremost a product that is for them.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much. You heard from Oyinkansola. She is a gem when it comes to product-led growth, and she has shared everything you need to do to become a growth-led PM. Not just focusing on the product, but you yourself on your career, how you can be growth-led, how you can inculcate the growth mindset in your career, and how you can also reflect that in your product. Thank you, Oyinkansola, for coming.
It's a
It was so great
pleasure.
to
I
have
had such
you.
a great time. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
goodness.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is the end of the first episode of season 2. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, this is your sign to watch it, and look forward to the next ones.